Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Welcome back to my home garden in Long Island, New York, gardening zone 7A. In today's video, I want to talk about this white magic powder with a chemical composition like no other, with versatile qualities and versatile uses. Anywhere from sowing time all the way to harvest time. I promise that after this video, this magic white powder will become your #1 secret ingredient in your home gardening. It will once and for all transform your garden. This white powder is one of the most popular supplements in organic gardening as well. This powder can safely be used from sowing time all the way through harvest time. You can use it indoors as well as outdoors as well. It can safely be used on vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, flowering shrubs, indoor plants, even the grass in your home garden. And this secret white powder is Epsom Salt. You can purchase Epsom Salt almost anywhere, in stores and online as well. It is almost always available in grocery stores and supermarkets. It does not have any chemicals, which means it can be safely used for organic gardening. So for those of you looking for that online gardening channel with your first tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home garden to that next level, don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around with me today. Start with going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. If you do enjoy the content of my garden videos, if you find my videos to be useful, helpful, informative in absolutely any way, click the bell icon as well. YouTube will send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video. Now come with me, let's get gardening. Now, many of you, my fellow home gardeners, might be wondering, why Epsom salt? Why does Epsom salt indeed work in our home gardens? Composed almost exclusively of magnesium sulfate. Epsom salt is intensely rich in these two minerals, which are indeed both crucial to the healthy plant life. Unlike your common garden fertilizers, Epsom salt does not build up in the soil of your home garden over time, which makes Epsom salt much safer and organic compared to using other chemical soil supplements. When looking at the packaging of our Epsom salt, and regardless of the brand of the Epsom salt which you will be using, if you turn the packaging around, clearly states that the only active ingredient with 100% composition is magnesium sulfate. That being said, let's take a closer look at each of the components of Epsom salt, and let's start with magnesium. Magnesium is beneficial to plants from very early on, right when the seeds begin to develop. Why? Because magnesium assists with the process of seed germination, helping to strengthen plant cell walls so the plant can indeed receive all the necessary nutrients that it needs. Magnesium also plays a very crucial role in photosynthesis, assisting with the creation of chlorophyll used by plants to convert sunlight into the food that they so direly need. In addition, magnesium allows the plants in our home garden to better soak up phosphorus as well as nitrogen. And all of us home gardeners know that phosphorus and nitrogen are two vital, essential fertilizer components for the soil in our home as well as our home gardens. Believed to bring more flowers, more fruit to your garden. Magnesium can help bring the bounty the beauty back to your home garden, as well as your landscape. Now let's take a closer look at the second mineral component in Epsom salt. And that mineral component is sulfate. So what in the world is sulfate? Sulfate is a mineral form of sulfur found in nature. Sulfate is equally important in nutrient for plant life. Sulfate is essential to the health and the longevity of your plants. Sulfate aids in the production of chlorophyll. It joins with the soil to make key ingredients more effective for our plants in our home garden. So what are those key nutrients? As all of us home gardeners know, that those three key essential nutrients for any of the plants growing in our home garden is, of course, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the NPK. Sulfate also works in conjunction with magnesium to create a blend of minerals, nourishment, and health for your home garden. Epsom salt is a great organic ingredient to use to amend your soil when first planting your crops early spring season. So how much of Epsom salt would you need to amend that soil? 1 full cup of Epsom salt per 100 square feet. All you have to do is pour the Epsom salt directly into the soil of your home garden and thoroughly mix it in with your soil. Epsom salt does not accumulate below the soil surface, which makes it an excellent, non-harming, organic approved ingredient for our home gardens. You can even use Epsom salt with more mature, more established plants. Epsom salt is a great secret ingredient to use with flowering vegetable plants such as our tomatoes, tomatillos, and even our peppers. Not only is it going to help strengthen your plant's root system, it's going to help with lush green foliage growth, as well as abundant flower as well as fruit production. Tomatoes are prone to magnesium deficiency, especially later in their growing seasons, which shows with yellowing leaves as well as diminished fruit production. Epsom salt treatments at the beginning of their planting and throughout their seasonal life can help prevent and remedy magnesium deficiencies in your tomato plants. So how much of Epsom salt should you be using when trying to prevent or remedy the magnesium deficiency in your tomato plants? Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt for tomatoes to the area before planting your seeds or your tomato transplants. You would add it either directly to your planting hole, or as the plant matures, you can always add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt per foot of your plant height. So if your plant is 3 feet tall, you would be adding 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt. If your plant is 6 feet tall, you would be adding 6 tablespoons of Epsom salt right around the base or the root ball of your tomato plant. And after you add your Epsom salt, you would water your tomato plant thoroughly to help with their absorption. Just like tomatoes, peppers are prone to magnesium deficiencies as well. Epsom salt can be used as efficiently with pepper plants as with tomato plants. So how much Epsom salt should you be using with your pepper plants and when? At the time of planting, whether you're starting your pepper plants from a seed or as an established transplant, adding 1 to 2 tablespoons to the area before planting for seeds, starter plants, or even your full grown plants. And then adding the same amount, 1 to 2 tablespoons, twice a week based on the sizing of your plant. National Gardening Association has conducted a study among home gardeners, and 4 out of 6 home gardeners have stated that they saw a significant increase in the sizing of their pepper fruits after using Epsom salts. In fact, they have also stated that after the use of Epsom salts on their pepper plants, not only have they noticed a significant improvement in the coloring of the plant's foliage, they have noticed healthier root systems, as well as an increase in the fruit production, as well as the sizing of their pepper fruits. So how do you add Epsom salt to your existing growing pepper plants? The same way that you would add it to your existing growing tomato plants. You sprinkle 1 to 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt directly to the soil surface below your pepper plant, and you water the soil thoroughly to allow for the absorption of the Epsom salt. Roses thrive when enriched with Epsom salts, whether it's a rose shrub, a climbing rose, or even a potted rose tree. If you're planting a brand new rose shrub, whether it's a pre-potted rose shrub or a bare root rose, you should always pre-soak the root system of your new rose shrub in Epsom salts prior to planting it in your home garden. So how much Epsom salt would you need? You will need 1 cup of Epsom salt per 1 gallon of water. And you allow that root system to pre-soak in that Epsom salt solution for at least a few hours prior to planting the rose in your home garden. Epsom salts to your rose plants will not only encourage greener, lush foliage growth, it will also promote healthier root system, new cane growth, as well as an abundant amount of healthy, fragrant, beautiful rose blooms. So when planting a new rose shrub, add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt directly into the planting hole prior to placing your rose plant and backfilling. If you have an established rose plant growing in your home garden and you do want to encourage healthier, greener foliage, as well as healthy root system and an abundant amount of beautiful rose blooms, add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt in the beginning of rose plants growing season, so sometime early spring. And then I always like to add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt to the root ball area. What you do is you directly sprinkle it like this, and you water thoroughly at least once every 2 months going forward until your rose is done blooming for you that growing season. If you don't want to sprinkle Epsom salt directly into the soil of your rose plant, and regardless of whether your rose is growing in the ground or in a pot or a container, you can always make a mixture using tap water and Epsom salt. So per 1 gallon of water, I always like to use roughly 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt, and my roses thrive for me the entire season and reward me with beautiful, fragrant, gorgeous blooms. Adding Epsom salt to our flowering shrubs as well as our greens will forever change the way your shrub grows and blooms for you. So how much Epsom salt should you be adding? It's 1 tablespoon per 9 square feet. Flowering shrubs such as our azaleas, rhododendrons, hydrangeas, even evergreen shrubs benefit tremendously from the use of Epsom salts. You pour the salt directly on the soil around the shrub's root ball. You amend it thoroughly with the soil and you water it in. You repeat the same process, 1 tablespoon per 9 square feet, every 2 to 4 weeks while your shrub is in full bloom for that growing season. Have you ever dreamed of having beautiful, healthy, lush, soft, green lawn? However, every year you just manage to find brown or yellow spots on your grass. Guess what, my fellow home gardeners? Using Epsom salts on the grass in your home garden can help you get that healthy green grass that you're always looking to get. So now, how do we spread Epsom salt to the grass in our home garden to help it become healthier, lusher, softer, and of course, greener? So there are 3 ways that you can spread Epsom salt. The first way to help add Epsom salt to our lawns is to use a tank sprayer. The second efficient way to add Epsom salt to our grass is by using a spreader, a seed spreader. And the third way is to use a hose with a spray attachment. So now, how much Epsom salt should you be adding to the grass in your home gardens? You should be adding 3 pounds of Epsom salt, and Epsom salt is sold in various sized bags. So this bag is 1 pound. So I would need to add 3 of these bags per 1,250 square feet. That's 25 feet by 50 foot area. If your area is 2,500 square feet, that's 50 feet by 50 feet, you would need to double the amount of Epsom salt. So instead of 3 pounds, you would be using 6 pounds or 6 of these 1 pound bags of Epsom salt per 2,500 square feet. If you're using a tank sprayer or a hose attachment, make sure that you dissolve the salt in its entirety prior to spraying the solution. Why? Because you want that solution to be 100% concentrated. Just like vegetable gardens, flower gardens bloom lushly with the use of Epsom salts either directly in the soil or as a liquid solution. Epsom salt helps your gardens become calming, serene environment you always envisioned, and will create the beauty of your home as well as your landscape. When attempting to make liquid sprayer tank Epsom salt solution for a beautiful flower garden, how much Epsom salt should you be adding to your sprayer tank? You should be adding 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt per 1 gallon of water. So now, when should you be spraying your flower garden with this Epsom salt liquid solution? First time as at planting time. The next time you should be applying your Epsom salt spraying solution to your flower garden is when you'll start seeing the lush foliage growth. And the third time you should be adding your Epsom salt liquid solution to your flower garden is at bloom time. If you don't have a sprayer tank, my fellow home gardeners, don't despair. You can always mix the same liquid solution using a watering can. 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt per 1 gallon of water. You mix the solution inside your watering can thoroughly, and you water your plants with that solution. Trees being the largest and hands down the longest outstanding part of our home garden, can also benefit from the use of Epsom salts. By adding Epsom salt to the soil surface around the tree's root ball, the tree's roots can absorb more minerals, giving you strong, healthy trees to enjoy for many years to come. For those of you guys who have flowering trees in your home garden, such as this beautiful, full blooming dogwood, or fruit trees like this beautiful, mature, established persimmon tree, or this beautiful pear tree that I've growing right next to the persimmon tree in my front yard. By adding Epsom salts directly to the soil over your fruit tree's root ball 3 to 4 times per year will not only help increase the flowering, but will also help increase the produce itself. So how much Epsom salt should you be adding to your fruit or flowering trees? You should be adding 2 tablespoons per 9 square feet directly into the soil over the root zone. As I mentioned, 3 to 4 times per year. If you plan to complete this task at the very beginning of each season, this is a great way to prepare your trees for changes in weather, making your trees stronger and, of course, healthier for many weeks to come. Adding Epsom salt to your pre-potted indoor houseplants can be beneficial as well, especially if you potted up your plant a long time ago. As your plant sits and grows inside a container, what happens is there's a natural accumulation of salt in the soil. So what that salt does is it clogs the root cells of your plant. Adding Epsom salt helps clear up the accumulation of natural salts inside your pot. Also, it will help improve the general health and vibrancy of your house plants. It's also very useful to add Epsom salts at the time of planting, because adding Epsom salts will help your newly potted plant receive all the nutrients, all the vitamins to have a healthy start in life. This is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in my home garden. In today's video, we spoke about all the benefits and all the uses of Epsom salt, otherwise known as magnesium sulfate, in our home, inside as well as outdoors in our home gardens. For those of you who enjoyed the content of today's video, if you found today's video to be useful, helpful, informative, in absolutely any way, don't be shy, guys. Show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comments in the comment section as well. Let me know, have you ever used Epsom salt in your home garden? If so, did you find it to be useful, beneficial? Share with me how Epsom salt improved your home gardens, the plants inside your home as well as outdoors, outside. For those of you who haven't yet subscribed to my gardening channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor, what are you waiting for, guys? Super easy for you to do, super pleasing and rewarding to me. Just go below this video and click the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell icon as well if you enjoyed the content of my videos and want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video. Stay healthy, happy, be well, each and every single one of you. And happy gardening, guys. And I'll see you again in my new upcoming garden videos. Bye, guys.